I'd like to introduce you to my buddy Matt Siltala, founder of Dream Systems Media, a full-service internet marketing firm based in Utah and Arizona. Matt is a frequent speaker at conferences such as SMX, SES, and PubCon, where we're glad to have him on today.
Doing good, Arnie. Thanks for having me.
Great. Thanks for being here. So as you know, we're a few days into the year 2010, and we're talking about predictions regarding search marketing. So what are your views, and how do you feel things are going to head here in the coming year?
You know, I've been thinking a lot about this, and not because I knew I was going to be doing this interview or whatnot, but I've been thinking about it because the last few months there's been so much talk about universal search, blended search, mixed media search, things like that. I really started thinking about what is the next step of the search engine. You know, with Google basically dominating everybody, and all the other guys, you know, that try to compete, they just can't. And so I see us having to adapt more to what Google wants us to do with the mixed media. You know, when you type in a search in Google, you no longer get the normal text results. I mean, you got local results, you got video results, you got blog results, you got image results, you got book results, you got whatever. You know, there's so many shopping results. There's so many things that are thrown into the mix. I mean, I obviously think one of the biggest factors is going to be mobile search and mobile and local, but that kind of ties into what I'm talking about with universal and mixed media results in Google, and the other ones too. You do see it still, but I think the biggest thing that we're going to have to start figuring out as owners of these websites, as search engine marketers, as people that promote this, we're going to have to start figuring out ways, and if we don't figure out ways to get this content where it needs to be in these places, we're going to be left behind. But if you're going to ask me what I felt was the biggest thing that people are going to have to focus on for change, I really think it's going to be local and mobile.
Well, that's great. Actually, that was going to be my follow-up question, is if you could talk maybe a little bit specifically about local and mobile, and you know what you'd recommend to the viewers as far as getting ready for that, preparing for that, their websites and so on.
You know, for me, one of the biggest things that I try to tell people is you need to make sure that you have your website ready for everything. People still have a hard time believing this, but when I say that we get a good deal of our sales through my retail sites, we get a good deal of our sales through mobile devices that we can track, where people have looked through the Safari browser on iPhone, whatever they're using on BlackBerry or the Droid or these other ones. And obviously we have the analytics to track that, and you can see what happens. But that right there is one of the eye-opening things for me, is how important mobile is going to be. And so if you have a website that is entirely in Flash still, I mean, good grief if you would still, it's 2010. But if you do, people looking at it on an iPhone are going to see nothing. And so you're going to lose, there's a lot of missed opportunities. And I often joke with people, because everybody that knows me knows that I'm the big Yelp man. I love Yelp. And it really is like the new American Express for me. I don't leave home without it, because anywhere I go, and it's not just for food. I mean, when we go out and we're traveling different places, and the other day it had was in the middle of New Mexico somewhere, and the battery was about to explode in my truck, and we're looking for a place, and I pull up Yelp and typed in battery and found several places, and so again, my point in bringing that up is it's not just about food. It's about everything that you're looking for, and just how everything's tying together with people that are user generated content sites like Yelp and the recommendation. And so if your business is not doing what it needs to be doing to get on sites like this, and again, Yelp is just one of many. I mean, it's one of the bigger ones as far as local and mobile, and I like it because it's got Yelp has a mobile app for all the big, I call them, I don't call them, but they call them the app phones now. The iPhone and the Droid and the Blackberries, they have their own Yelp applications, and so people can go right to, they pick it out, what they want. They could see other people's thoughts of it. They could see pictures of it. They can book reservations right on their phone. They can do whatever they want right there. And so if you're a business and you're not a part of one of these applications, if you're not a part of one of these websites, I mean, you're going to get left in the dust.
Gotcha. Now, what would you say to the website owners and webmasters if they had to spend their time on only one of two things: either optimizing their actual site for mobile, or getting listed in as many directories or local things like Yelp or Google Local and so on. Which one of those two do you think they should concentrate on right now?
If I had to pick one of them, I would definitely say go to the individual sites themselves and get listed. Obviously, it takes a lot of time to change your your website and get it ready for mobile and all. And you may not be able to. You may not have the resources, but you can go in and start adding yourself to Google Local, to Yahoo Local, to Bing Local, to Yelp. I mean, there's a great website called getlisted.org that it'll walk you through all of them and help you get listed on all the important local stuff. And so I definitely say go that direction. If you're putting a gun to my head and making me pick one of them, I'd definitely go that route.
Gotcha. Well, I wasn't really meaning to put a gun to your head, but anyway. And so kind of to wrap things up, you mentioned it a little bit early on in the interview here, but if you just had to pick one critical issue for internet marketers, I would say out there in general that probably are focused on search engines, that they need to really be in tune with in the coming year, just one thing. I know that's hard to do. What do you think that would be?
Well, what I would do is I'll answer that with one thing, but I'll do it in the way of giving me more opportunity. I would say content, because with the mixed media and with the universal search and all that we were talking about already, you want to get your content found. People are still using Google. It gets over 70% of all the search engine traffic. Now that they're showing video results, they're showing image results, they're embedding all that right into the SERPs. You want to make sure that you're working on the content that can go in there. And so whether it be, you're writing a blog and you're getting the videos on there, you're getting the images on there, or whatever it may be, you want to make sure that you're focusing on getting the kind of content that your customers are looking for, so it will come up in the results and you'll be found and you can get business.
And maybe even an interview series with experts like you.
Absolutely.
All right, well, that's all the time we have, and I appreciate it. Thanks, Matt, and have a great 2010.
Thank you very much. You too, Arnie.